Okay, I'm running a little late, but I'd like to call the meeting to order. And first thing I'd like to do is read the requirements for granting a variance, or recommending granting a variance. Standards for variances. The zoning board of appeals shall not recommend a variance from the regulations of this ordinance unless it shall make written findings based on evidence presented to it in each specific case. All standards for hardships set forth below are met. The property in question cannot yield a reasonable return if permitted to be used only under the conditions allowed by the regulations in the district wherein the property is located. The plight of the owner is due to unique circumstances such as the enforcement of this ordinance would result in practical difficulties or impose exceptional hardships due to special and unusual conditions which are not generally found on other properties in the same zoning district. The variance, if granted, will not be a substantial detriment to adjacent property. The proposed variation will not impair an adequate supply of light and air to adjacent property or substantially increase the congestion in public streets, or increase the danger of fire or endanger the public safety, or substantially diminish or impair property values within the neighborhood. The granting of the variation will not be detrimental to the public welfare or injurious to other property and improvements in the neighborhood in which the property is located, and will not overcrowd the land or create undue concentration of population. That being said, first thing I'd like is a motion to accept the minutes of the last meeting.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Who's taking notes?
I'm very ready.
Okay, that's you.
Okay.
Want a notepad?
All in
Yeah,
favor?
I'll just write it on the. Aye.
Motion carries. Okay, the first request for variance tonight is from Michael Olander on Ottawa Avenue. I need you to stand up, state your name for the record, and state your case, please.
Yeah, sure.
But before we go any farther, I don't have any drawings. Did you get them, Matt?
I do, yes.
Could you bring them up here, please?
So, Michael Olander, 1224 Ottawa Avenue. Our garage was destroyed by the derecho last year, so we want to rebuild. And we want to rebuild to.
Can you come up here a little closer so we can hear you?
Oh, yeah, sure. So we want to rebuild the garage, and it's coming in at 1,040 square feet, and I guess the regulation is 900 square feet, so we want to build it just a little bit bigger than the current regulation. So match the house. And more, I guess, in proportion.
It's 26 by 40. Okay, does the 40 run north and south?
Yes, correct.
Okay, go on.
I mean, that's basically it. When we were speccing everything out, Jack Kubiak's gonna help with it. You know, he gave us the final dimensions and submitted it to Matt, and he said, okay, well, you have to go in front of the board because it's a little bit bigger than 900 square feet, so. So that's right here.
How big was your original garage?
It was probably about half the size, I would say. It was a smaller cinder block garage, built in the late 40s, I believe. So with this garage, what we wanted to do was basically match the character of the house. So it's a Queen Anne Victorian. Pretty high, so we wanted to basically have a carriage house type of.
So you're looking to make it 2 stories?
Somewhat. He's gonna put in a second, almost kind of like little loft, but it won't be it's basically for storage. There will be a window up there, but it's not really useful for anything but storage.
You have a 24-foot height restriction.
Yes, yeah, you know about that.
Okay. Is the height shown on the?
I'm not sure.
No,
Kubiak was talking about that, so though he is aware of that.
not specifically, no, it may be in here, but 13. Says how high it is from the top of the eaves, but it doesn't say how high it is to the top of the road bearing wall. Okay, so it's gonna be less than 24 feet.
Yeah.
How far away from the property lines are you going to be?
Well, we had a previous meeting.
Yeah, I remember.
Right.
I remember.
So we're grandfathered into, we're.
Well, technically, you're not grandfathered in. Out of the goodness of our hearts, we gave it to you. You're
Okay,
not grandfathered in.
okay, all right,
Okay, once you go over 50%, you have to get a variance, 50% damage.
okay. Yeah, so we got the variance, which is great. So,
I remember you being here. What did we give you? I don't remember these when, you know, a couple months down the road.
yeah,
2 feet, 1 feet?
it was 3 feet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Side and back?
The back is actually more than 5 feet, so it's just the side issue.
Did you get it surveyed?
Yeah, we had a survey before, but I thought the paperwork.
Okay.
Yeah.
Vince?
I don't have any questions. The square footage of your house, according to tax records, is 3,616 square feet. So the 26 by 40 gives you 1,040 square feet for the garage. And that's 28, roughly 29% of the square footage of the house. So you're okay under the 50% of the footprint of this principal structure, but you're over on 900 square feet. So you're about
140 square feet over.
140 square feet over, and that would be 15.6%. And it's not nitpicking on that, we have to put that in the motion. So, and since it's gonna match the character of the house, we'll probably also have to put in a limitation of no more than 24 feet in height, since we know in advance that it's going to be not like a one-story garage.
Okay, Bill, do you have anything else?
No,
Dan?
Well, it's for the footprint of the house. This footprint's 1979, so he would have both those. It's not the total square footage of the house, it's the footprint. So it's a two-story house, so he would have both those variances.
Yeah, I didn't. So yeah,
You got based on 1979.
I looked at total square feet, not the ground
1,907.
square feet.
So it's just
Okay.
barely over, not too.
So you will need one for the 50%.
Yeah.
In excess of 50% of the square footage of the principal residence. As well as
Over the 900 foot maximum.
900 foot maximum,
And
the 24 foot height restriction.
Matt, do we have to reissue the one for the 3 foot?
No, it's already been passed and approved.
Okay.
But that was done in January.
Okay. Okay, Vince.
Numbers guy. Make a motion that the applicant's request be granted conditioned upon, okay, he will need a variance and that the detached structure will be in excess of more than 50% of the footprint of the principal structure, and that it is also in excess, exceeds the 900 square foot limitation for a detached structure. Also, the maximum height of this garage should not exceed more than 24 feet.
I think he's good. I think I found it. And 13, 22, 8. It's only gonna be 22 foot 8.
Okay.
If I'm reading the drawing right.
So as
Every time
long
I
as
see
you
these-
put that it doesn't exceed the 24 foot, you should be good.
Okay, did you get all that, Dan?
Yeah.
Okay,
That
Like a
was
second?
Second.
second, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, you've heard it before, we're strictly in a recommendation board, we don't have the final say. They recommend you go to the next city council meeting, which is July 1st. At 7 o'clock right here.
Okay, wonderful.
Okay,
All right, thank you.
okay. All right, the next request for a variance is from Jacob Gainer on 1356 West Jefferson Street. Also need you to state your name for the record, your address.
I'm Jacob Gainer, 1356 West Jefferson Street in Ottawa. And my existing fence, it's been there since I bought the house, got destroyed in the windstorm last year. But it's over to the sidewalk, and they told me I couldn't put it back up the same way. And they want me to move it back 6 feet. But my lot is kind of unique. There's 2 houses on my lot. So my yard's really small as it is, and I got 3 little kids. So if I bring it in another 6 feet, I'm not gonna really have a yard left.
Have your neighbors ever complained about the,
No,
where the fence is located?
no. And that's, like I said, that's just completely destroyed. The neighbor's tree went through it, and I tried patching it up to get it through the winter. And I just like to put up a new white vinyl one in the same location.
And you're at 1356 West Jefferson? Oh, okay.
Yeah, the fence is basically on,
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's at, the fence is mostly on Armstrong
On
Street.
Armstrong, correct. And then I own a house behind me on Armstrong Street, like I said, so it actually makes it's 2 houses on one lot, 2 different addresses, kind of moving. But there's really not a big backyard, like I said, with 3 little kids. If I bring that in 6 feet more, there's really nothing left.
how far behind that fence is that tree?
About 3 feet, but I'd like to get that tree taken out along with the other one if I can eventually. Like, it's just, they got.
Good time to do it when you're building a new
Well,
fence.
that's why, like I said, I want to make sure I can do the fence, but the trees got destroyed in the storm too, so I'd like to get both of them and get permits for them taken down also.
Well, the ordinance states that, they can't be closer than 12 inches to a sidewalk. Now, the city sidewalks do not necessarily always mean that's where your property line runs to.
I understand that, yep.
So, do we know where your property line runs?
22 feet off the crown of the road, and it's exactly to the backside where my fence is right now of the sidewalk.
So it's right on the line there?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
The fence has been there since I bought the house in 2004. I mean, it needed to get redone anyways with the storm, really made it bad.
And that's a 6-foot fence now?
That's correct. And I'd like to put up everything exactly the same but white vinyl.
Well, it probably preceded the fence ordinances.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
So I'm not sure he needs the opacity either.
Well, like I said, what was there.
Yeah. So even though it's a corner lot, and that fence was there, and it's less than 50% destroyed.
Well, I would have had to see that right after the storm. Stick it back up, proper prop behind it, you can't see what's behind it.
That's exactly what I got right now, it's snapped the post, so I got bars behind it, and that's why I wanna get something done, so I'm worried about.
So it's probably totally destroyed.
Looks totally destroyed.
The 4x4 post.
Yeah.
Most of them snapped off, and so I propped it back up. Like I said, I got little kids, I don't want them just walking out in the streets and stuff, so I got it temporarily supported and it's strong, you know, I don't want to fall on anybody, but them posts are shot, they completely snapped off.
So he needs a variance from the 4-foot for a corner lot, and the opacity, and the 12 inches.
Yes. All three of those.
I mean, the 12 inches, I can move it 12 inches, and I'm only losing a foot. You know, compared, it's just my yard's not that big.
Yeah. But if you wanted to put it back right there, we would have to give you a variance for being less than 12 inches
Okay,
of the sidewalk.
okay.
Dan, anything to say?
No, not really.
Tricia?
No,
I'm in favor.
I am too. I'm in favor, yeah.
Make a motion, Vince?
I make a motion that the applicant's request to replace an existing 6-foot fence destroyed in the August 2020 derecho be approved. The variance would be granted to replace with a 6-foot solid vinyl fence, and a variance for the opacity of no more than 50% to 100%, and a variance that said fence could be placed on the property line and less than 12 inches from a public sidewalk.
You have a second?
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion carried.
Thank you very much for coming to the July 1st.
We recommend it. Can't force you to, but we recommend it.
Okay,
Like I
thank
said,
you very much.
We're just a recommendation for you.
Yep, I understand. Thank you guys for your time.
RICIA. Foible, FLA.
Okay. Next one would be Paul and Tamika Zenke. Are they here yet? Okay, we need you to stand up, state your name for the record and your address, and explain to us what you want to do.
Paul Johnson, the property address where we want to do the improvements on 620 Adams Street. Currently, there's a one-car garage on the property. We wanted to expand that, make it a 2-car garage. We wanted to expand it towards the back of the lot to make it a tandem 2-car garage. So the variance that we're requesting is that we can continue 2 feet from the lot line. The current garage is 2 feet from the lot line. So to continue that sidewall straight back, and then 3 feet from the back of the property. So there's still area to maintain the back of the property, but we maximize the space of the garage there. We're also asking for the variance because it's a 2-story home, so the footprint on it The square footage of the garage would exceed the maximum amount allowed in relation to the footprint of the actual house. And we were hoping to do it so that we had a two-car garage rather than one-car garage on the property.
Is that white vinyl fence in the rear, is that your fence?
That's not mine. That's the neighbor's fence.
Okay,
Wait a minute. Now, what are the dimensions of this fence? You say two-car garage, but what is the dimension of this garage? How wide and how long?
The width of it would be the same width as the current garage. The current garage is 14 feet wide. And so I'd be adding 14 feet wide. By 16 feet would be the depth that I would be adding on the backside.
Okay, are you adding to the existing garage, or are you tearing down the existing and putting up a whole new one?
Adding to the existing, so just extending it back to the back lot.
Okay. That's what you're saying.
so that's, so the total garage is gonna be 544 square feet.
So what's it,
No,
14 by what?
14 by 32,
Six.
By 32.
448.
Well, here you said you want to go back 20 feet, so you must have
Yeah,
shortened it.
Are you going back 20 feet or 16?
Within 3 feet of the back, so it's probably closer to the 20 feet. The square footage on that request was accurate.
Okay, then you're up to 504, okay. So you're over 50, no, total ground square feet, is that his footprint?
Yeah, 910, so
910.
504.
Just over 50%. Okay, and this do, if you're 2 feet with a 1 foot overhang, you gotta keep it, gotta make sure you don't drip on his neighbor's property. Third, I guess, 544. And 5.56% over. You don't have to worry about it over 900. So then the two variances for the backyard and the side yard.
I couldn't see the surveyor's stick, because of the weeds on the backside.
On the, looking at the house.
On the
back
south side.
corner or the south side of it, it's there, the pin is, they did put a flag there.
Well, I found the flag in the front, and maybe I missed the flag in the rear.
It's there unless, the neighbor pulled over it or anything.
So they want rear setback from 5 to 3, south side from 5 to 2.
a maximum 1 foot overhang.
So the width is, because see up here, it says 544, so, but if it's
Well,
only
this is
14
a-
foot wide, huh?
It is,
Yeah, we're missing something.
I got 544, did you come up with 544?
No, it's just written up there, the total, somebody calculated it to be that, so what would, if you're
Wait a minute. go
36, 544,
16 by 36. That's 576.
so 544 divided by 36, that's like 15.1. So nowhere does it have the width, the size of the garage anywhere? Existing
You
garage?
said 14.
Okay.
14, I know is the width for sure, because that's what.
Oh. Okay, that's, it should be 504 instead of 540, I might have been a typo, you know, that's up here.
Oh, 504.
Yeah, that's what I calculated twice.
Yeah, it just, up here it says in addition, the proposed structure upon completion will be a total of 544, so that's on the front. Part of the request, so I think it's just typo, it should be 504 again.
Okay.
Yeah, 14 by 36.
Okay, anybody else have any concerns? Questions? Okay.
Let me guess.
Vince, would you like to make a motion?
Somehow I think I just love to make a motion, yes.
Okay.
We're all hoping you'd feel that way about it.
Yeah. So we need a motion for the setback from the rear from 5 foot to 3 foot.
Yep.
And the side setback, that is the south side setback, from 5 feet to 2 feet. And then a motion for, because it will exceed 50% of the footprint.
Yes.
So we need a motion for that. Because it will exceed 50%, but it does not exceed 900 square feet, so just the 50%.
Yes.
And then you can have to have a maximum of a 2 foot overhang for your eaves.
No, 1 foot.
1 foot?
Yeah, because the foundation's at 2.
That's right.
Hang over 1.
Maximum 1 foot. Motion.
So moved.
Okay, now you're in second. Or you're in second. He moved it, he made it, you second. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion carried.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
July 1st is when the next hearing is, or is your recommendation?
Yes.
And then that's-
It's usually toward the end of the meeting, but we never know how long it's part of the mayor's minutes. But we never know, we never have any idea how long the meetings are gonna last, so. They start here at 7 o'clock also.
Wait, before you leave. On, a question to possibly modify that motion? They have to firewall. Have a 1 hour burn through.
Yeah, you have a house right next to you, there's a stairway
The,
up toward the front, in the existing garage.
so the existing garage is detached.
No, we're talking about the house next door.
The house next door, correct,
There's a wooden stairway that goes up to an apartment.
yes.
You're less than 5 feet away from that, so you have to have at least a 1 hour burn through on the exterior wall
But your garage.
of your garage.
The one on the south side, or
Yes.
the one that?
One on the south side.
On the south side there.
And they're gonna have to do it on the back of the garage because they're less than 5 feet.
Oh, yeah.
That's supposed to be enforced by Matt. Okay, we can put it in the ordinance.
We can, I'd like
Put it
to,
in the variance.
yeah, I'd like to put it in the motion that a burn through
1 hour fire.
1 hour firewall on the east wall of the garage and the south wall of the garage.
South wall of the new and existing garage and the east
Yeah.
wall of the new garage.
The existing, so even in the existing portion, do like that on that.
Yeah, because you've only got like 1x8s or maybe 1x10s on that existing garage.
So
The other apartment's supposed to have 2 exits, but we have no idea, knowing if that other house has 2 exits for that upstairs apartment.
That's why you need that burn through.
So the back wall where the stairs is, I see that one. What's the east one for? What's that next to?
Some of these, they're less than 5 foot from the property line.
Property line there.
Oh,
And there's a house right there.
That's all perfectly doable. So, that is right.
and it would just be up where within so many feet of the house? Because the house doesn't run all the way along the side of it. I guess. Is it?
No,
are we
the house
talking
doesn't run all alongside of it, but what I'm
Just up at that
concerned
east
about
corner?
is
Yeah,
that
you
wooden
do the whole
stairway.
Because then you start saying, well, do I need 5 feet? Do I need 6 feet? Okay, like I said, July 1st. They start at 7, right? Don't they, man?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. The next one is JBM Management Group. I'm sorry, are you in opposition to anything by any chance, or are you with him?
No, I'm with Corkless, the Heritage, the last one.
The last 4.
Your Whitmore Development? Okay.
Oh, okay. I was thinking they were all the same, okay. Oh, yeah, this is the sign, okay.
Yeah, good evening, my name is John Mathias, 700 South Street, revitalization of the building. We're asking for a sign variance from the existing sign that's been there for a long time. My understanding is that ordinance is below the roof line, it's a 1-story building. It would be a 24-inch, 2-foot sign if I was to do that. So we're asking for the sign that we're like to put up is total sign is 8 feet. It's approximately 3 feet above the roof line by the time it's installed. The overall scope of the sign is way smaller than what they're currently. The current sign is above the roof line currently now, so that's.
Yeah, but it's not as far above the roof line.
No, it's not. It's probably 12 inches, so we're asking for 36 inches probably total. I have a sketch here, I think.
Is that like a solid panel backlit sign?
Yeah, it'll be, just router letters, just a more modern, I think, but, yeah. So, it's 8 feet tall, 19 inches wide, and 8 inches.
So you're 2 feet above. How much more
So,
does the sign extend above the 2 feet,
the roof line.
2-foot line?
I measured from the,
Oh, wait a minute, the code says it's 2 feet below the roof line.
I know, I'm trying to determine,
Yeah, that's my question, what's the total height of that brick facade above the door?
okay, when I measured it today, it should be 36 inches or 3 feet above the roof line.
3 feet above the roof line. Okay, so that would be
5 feet.
5 feet.
That,
5 feet above the limit.
yeah, correct.
Matt, is there anything about attaching signs to the roof itself?
The code does not allow rooftop signs.
So rooftop signs. So the fact that one of these brackets, he's gonna use, looks like he's gonna use an existing bracket.
That's my understanding. yes.
Correct.
So that would be permissible.
Yes.
So the only thing we're looking at is then the 5-foot variance.
Correct.
So it's gonna extend out like the existing sign? Is that,
Correct. Location,
24.
exactly the same location.
okay,
But not as far, the other one sticks, I
Way
think
out.
it's 6
It's
feet
really
out.
far out,
Yeah.
and it's only maybe 12 inches above the roof line. So it is definitely going to protrude taller, but not as far out.
okay.
This
Existing
sticks-
bracket.
this
What
sticks way
sign
out
is that?
here.
What building is that?
The Old Chalet Restaurant,
Yeah.
The beehive.
Beehive,
behind
right
here.
down the
Oh,
corner.
okay.
They're doing all kinds of work to it.
Okay.
Yeah. I go way back, that was a Chalet.
I used to go there too.
We need a drawing out here.
We got it here.
Okay.
Yeah, now it looks like that.
Yeah.
It sticks way out like here. Well, is that standard?
This is the existing one here.
Yeah.
We also try to make it look a little bit retro, like the building and the rest of the community, you know, I don't want a super modern look, so.
No,
We're adding a cornice to the roof, but if you wanted to raise the roof line, make it look bigger, it's financially, this doesn't make sense, so we're just gonna leave the roof line like that.
So are you the proprietor of the restaurant?
I own the building.
You own the building,
Yeah.
and you will be the proprietor, okay.
Anybody have any,
No, I'm good.
you
I like it. I like it. Yeah, no, I like it. No, I like it.
Okay, you realize this might lead to more problems in the future when other people come and say, he's got one, I want one?
Yeah. Oh,
It usually happens with signs.
well, I know.
One gas station started.
I think this sign will look better than the one that's standing right now. It's an eyesore. I don't
Is this
think,
thing gonna blink? Is this gonna blink?
Do it now. I completely understand the ordinance and the reason for it. I think that's one of the few buildings that's one story very low. I mean, it's
yeah,
not even as high as a street light.
right.
And other signs are way bigger in scope, but unfortunately, the roof line's roof line, I can't change it. You know, so. The version would obviously be a sign that comes like the original. It'll come way out with, you know, kind of, otherwise you won't even notice it. It'd be wasted of, you know, you won't notice there. So.
Dan, you have any? Dan, you have any questions or concerns?
No, I get the only thing you guys are talking about the roof, but it doesn't really, it says it's supposed to be 2 feet below any of the highest point of the building, so if that,
Well,
I thought that
pretty
brick,
much the.
isn't the brick facade above the roof or not?
No, the brick, I think there's a parapet up there.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's the highest point of the building, so the roof is irrelevant of it, I guess
Yeah.
when you're saying 5 feet, it's not gonna be 5 foot above the brick, right?
No, it's supposed to be 2 foot below the
Highest point.
highest point of the building. That's what it's always been interpreted as.
3
So-
foot above the building.
Okay, so it's gonna be 3, that would be the variance, I guess, would be 3 foot above the,
No, it'll be 5 foot.
5
feet.
Because it's supposed to be 2 foot below that.
a 5 foot, you're talking a 5 foot variance, 5 foot
5
variance,
foot
okay.
variance, yeah.
But 2 foot above the brick, existing brick, okay.
Yeah, 3 foot above the brick.
I thought you were saying 5 foot above the roof.
No,
I'm not opposed to asking, it's gonna be, right here in town. If you can mount it, split the difference or something where it's coming down a little lower and split, you know, I mean, it's probably possible. He's using existing mount, he's got it located slightly lower. I just don't want it too low, where you hit it or something like that.
No, I was just,
kids are gonna come run by and whack it.
Right, you know, I mean, and now he's terminating the end of the sign at the bottom of that soften of the brickwork, but it's still.
Yeah.
No, I didn't have an issue with where it is, I just wanted to know how to rate the thing. When they were saying, I thought they were talking about the roof, but they're just talking 5 foot from the variance.
Okay, well. Would you like to make, we gotta give Vince a rest.
I'm not very good at that sort of thing. Vince, you got chat.
And I tried it last time and it didn't go well. I'm learning a lot from Vince. Keep going. I'm paying attention.
Boy, I see your snow job.
Yeah. I make a motion that the applicant's request to install a sign which will require a variance in excess, which will require a variance of 5 feet above the permissible. I hate,
5 feet above the mandated.
yeah.
Just go through,
I'm
just
just
say 2
trying to,
feet,
say
or
that-
3 feet above the highest point, because they're doing it above the highest, or below the highest point. You're allowing it 3 feet above the highest point, which is actually
No,
5 foot, right?
it's gonna be,
Yeah, 3 feet above the highest point.
I'm trying to figure out how to do this because I'm gonna eat these words somewhere down the line to another applicant.
Yeah, that's what I just told her.
Yeah.
They come by, one person gets it, and
That's no reflection upon your request or anything, it's just, it's the nature of the beast.
well, you can say the variance from 2 feet below the highest point to 3 foot above the highest point of the building. Total of 5 feet.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Did you get that part there?
Yep,
Yeah.
2 feet,
Charlie-
2 feet below, 3 feet above.
Okay,
The world according to Charlie.
that's the way it should be.
Yeah.
It'd be running better.
That's,
Tricia, would you make a motion to second it, please? All you gotta do is I second the
I
motion.
second the motion.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion carried.
Thank you very much.
I would definitely recommend you show up.
yeah,
The other ones are kind of run of the mill, but this one you might get a few questions. I actually think it's a neat sign, so
We are,
I think it's a neat sign too, but
better have good
what
food.
we care about is the business, inside the business thriving, and that's.
You better have good
that's what the
food.
City needs, right?
You're welcome. Okay. The next 3 requests for variance are from Whitmore Development for 3 lots out at Heritage Harbor.
There's actually 4.
There's 4,
4 lots.
4 lots.
4 lots. So we need you to stand up, state your name, and state your case, please.
My name is Kevin Donovan, and I do the main architect and designer for Heritage out there, and then I'm also a builder, so we own the Port Place block, which is on the west peninsula of Heritage Harbor. And the original lots there were planted back in '08, and then when I acquired the lots about 3 years ago, we made them a little bit smaller to try to get a better price point to get them to move, because they had sat for so many years. These particular lots had 5 feet side setbacks on either side, and then this side of the block had a front setback at, I think it was 18 feet. The other side of the block, which is very similar to this west side, has a 13-foot front setback and then the same side setbacks. The reason I'm requesting a side setback variance is The width of those lots are just under what can allow for a good active adult house, which people are wanting 1,400 square feet, at least 2 bedrooms. And so the language that you saw in the request, that's actually language that the last 3 plats we've done at Heritage, that's been our boilerplate language that's in all those plats, allowing to build in the side setbacks for unique circumstances, but not less than 6 feet between the units. And anything less than 10 feet between the units, you're doing no penetrations, fire rated sheathing, and doing it responsibly so that you're not having detracting from the adjacent house that might go up. So I'm asking for it in this case here. These 4 lots are about half of the building activity on this block, and these variances will allow me to get a proper house there that would actually be marketable and get it built and moved. And then the front yard setback variance I'm requesting, I think when they planted these originally, they intended that the sidewalk was going to be on this west side of the block, but the first house went in was actually on the east side. So the first house started the trend for the sidewalk to be across the block. And so now there's just going to be an extra 6 feet of open space on the west side of the block. So I'd like to move those houses up to match what's across the street from them, so that I have an equal street front at 13 feet and 13 feet. And it'll also give those homeowners on this block a little more backyard space, which I thought would be nice, because we don't have a ton of yard space out there.
Okay, so first off, you're gonna be no less than 6 feet between houses,
No less than 6 feet between houses.
fire rated walls with no windows. Okay. And then, okay, Vince, you're up.
See, this is what was submitted was a final plat, but it's not a final plat, it's not, what I have has not been recorded.
Final plat of both places recorded.
Yeah, I haven't seen that.
It says draft in the lower left corner.
It's recorded, it's been recorded for a couple of years now. And that's just the reference document that I had in my records,
Okay.
it's just a four-place document. But I do have a diagram here showing the 4 houses in relation on the block.
Well, that's not our point, or that's not his.
Oh, no, yeah, if you're asking if these lots are platted, they're platted, they're definitely.
Okay, and when it was platted, is the setback, and it's an 18-foot setback, right?
It says,
Okay,
it's saying
so is the
19.
18-foot setback platted as a setback, or was it a setback granted by variance? Because there's a very small note, and I think that it's number 8, zoning ordinance section variance requesting front setback to a minimum of 18 feet. It's the size of ant tracks. It's over here. Okay, so it's not, what I'm trying to determine is if that setback line is a setback restriction platted on a subdivision plat, or if it was set by ordinance, as stated in this note.
My interpretation of it is almost all of our lot designs at Heritage require variance language on the base plat. I think Merit Corp, because they prepared the original plat, they copy over that language onto this. And I have a feeling that 18 feet was carryover from the original plat, just.
So it's a zoning variance and not a restriction, which would run with the land on each lot.
My understanding is not a restriction, but I work with Merit Corp on these. Yeah, I wouldn't take it as a restriction. There is a 10-foot PUE along the road.
No, wait a minute. It says zoning ordinance section variance requesting front setback to a minimum of 18 feet. That doesn't say anything about being it. What we're saying is this cast in stone or is this nebulous? Because we cannot give you a variance to what is in effect a homeowners association rule. Okay, we've already been through that. We can only give you a variance on a city ordinance. Okay, if this is platted and registered at the county courthouse, as an 18-foot setback, we can't give you a variance for that.
So the side setback, the same thing where the side setback is on this, but it's because there's.
Well, this is a 2-foot to a minimum of 2 feet. Zoning variance section, rear yard setback to 2 feet.
That's the rear one, and then the side's listed at 5 right there.
Well, the zoning in the city of Ottawa is 5 feet. Okay, we can give you a variance for that, but his statement is that 18 feet recorded as a requirement at the county courthouse. Because we cannot give you a variance for something that is a restriction on the deed. Up at the homeowners association, somebody wanted a variance on this, what in effect was a homeowners association rule. And we says, you gotta take it up with the homeowners association. And the homeowners association voted on it and said no. So if it's recorded on the deed, we can't give you a variance.
And I know that's not a restriction of the homeowners association.
No, I'm not talking about the homeowners association. We're talking about the deed, the plat itself, the deed.
Oh, so the only thing recorded is this, I guess the plat note, but on the individual deed, there's no actual restrictions for.
No, the plat,
Okay,
the subdivision, that total subdivision there.
when you took title to this property, when Whitmore Development took title to this property, and I didn't see a copy of that, and you would normally give that. I'm not trying to make this difficult, I just want to make sure that you can do what you want to do here. I'm gonna go 18, that should be 19, that should be 18.
Yeah. The last time I had my glasses on.
If,
It says requested, my question.
if under the paragraph on the draft here, the final plat, if this is recorded on the final plat that's recorded at the recorder's office, I have absolutely no problem giving you a variance because the original ordinance set the setback as 18 feet. And by a variance, we can modify that. But I just need to know that the plat includes this language, the approved variance language.
The final recorded plat?
Yeah.
Okay. And I can guarantee that it's this exact page, but I'd be happy to forward that.
Do you have a copy of the final one?
Well, this final one is the same one that you're looking
Same
at.
here, okay.
I would just have to go on my computer. Yeah, because once they did the drawing, we just used the same drawing and then.
Maybe Matt can you pull it up?
What's that?
Can you pull up the final plat?
I could go upstairs and log on to the recorder of deeds and see if it has been recorded, yes.
If that language is on the final executed recorded plat. And it says approved variances in number 8 by section number sets the setback at 18, then we can give them a variance.
Okay. I can run upstairs and see if I can find it and pull it.
I hate to do that for you.
I can do that.
Okay.
I was trying to blow this up so I can see what that says.
Yeah, I can't read it.
I got this a little bit better, so.
I have a big copy here.
Charlie's
Bring that over here.
Charlie's got Avenger eyes.
Yeah, let me,
Bring that.
Yeah,
in.
see, it says, West, zoning ordinance section 4A.
No, here's the key. Here's the key.
let me run upstairs. See if I can find it. This
See,
is-
these sound like
Fourth
these
place,
were, these were agreed to with the planning commission. Once you read this one.
I don't even see it. Bring it on down there.
Okay, and then
More development, there was a family in Ottawa that was in the Chevrolet business.
This is,
See,
they're
once you read,
based out of Wisconsin.
read it without reading this one right here.
It's George and Dottie Holmeyer, they're my business partners.
okay, the variances are approved as part of the
They
development
spelled it
agreement
W-I-T.
and our planning
I
process.
don't know why they missed the H.
So,
Yeah.
So then you can variance request to waive minimum lot size.
yeah,
Buildings you got 40%.
And where the home hardware is, that was the
Okay,
Whitmore
west,
Chevrolet
west.
garage.
Oh, really?
Front setback to a minimum of 18 feet, so it's.
Oh, was it tree, or the Studebaker?
Because of this.
if this is on the final
Yeah.
plat, that's recorded,
Yes,
we're good to go.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, but it still says,
It's a draft though, that's the issue there.
I don't know, like I said, there's a stamp, there's no.
Well, you see, every one of these signatures has to be filled out for it to be valid. Because every one of those individuals has to sign off on that plat.
Right. Okay.
Right, Dan?
Yeah. before- What's that?
All these have to be filled in before you get a final plat up at the county clerk?
Yeah, before they record it.
It's, yeah, that was the one that ran around town and got all those signatures and everything.
Oh, if it's the final plat, you're good to go then, but we just gotta verify that.
Yeah, I can go, but it's in my email or on my computer somewhere, just,
Are we able to grant the?
We think so.
Or that has, oh, yeah, that.
This line right here says it's part of the development agreement in our planning process, so that means it went through the planning commission and agreed to by the previous city council.
Okay.
Okay.
And if that,
But this says draft.
Ah,
I have a tendency, but
we're platting another 100, we just platted the Natty County, and I will be in for the final plat on Harbor Village North, which will be another 100. Our narrowest house up there is gonna be 24 feet wide, so we're not gonna repeat, the need to have these variances for side setbacks, we're not fixing that. So,
yeah, I was out there today, well, we spoke on the
yeah,
phone.
yeah.
That's some storm drain work out there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The number of houses going up out there is just gonna be, I'm designing a house at Pennboard now, it's about a $2 million home, 4 stories tall. But, I don't know where people are getting the money for it, but they like the area and they're investing out there, so.
Yeah,
nothing better than living on the water.
Yeah, it's very peaceful. We have a waiting list of 15 people to get into boat slips this year.
Really? So
Yeah.
you're familiar with the Heimsos?
Yeah, Tom and I's office are next to each other, so.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
so I've been working with him to get the vision built out.
Jeff's my neighbor.
Oh. He had that scary incident a couple weeks ago.
He lives about 300 feet from my house. Somebody broke into his house and drunk and,
Had a gun.
yeah. Jeff overran him, so.
Yeah, about midnight. His wife
Yeah.
was sleeping upstairs and
What are you looking for on the side lot line?
it's the language with the, so up to a foot of the property line or without a need, or if there is need, the deed has to be back at least a foot, then, which would then put the wall back, whatever the overhang is.
Well, didn't you say 6 feet between them, so that's
So
3
there would
feet?
be at least six feet between buildings, between walls, or 6 feet minimum to the deed. So that's part of that language in there that we put on all the plats now. So minimum 6 feet.
Well, we're not worried about the wall. We just don't want the neighbors coming back and blaming the city if the water runs off somebody's house onto their property.
Yeah.
The city does not want to get involved in property line disputes.
So you're gonna wanna request a 3-foot side setbacks.
That'll get you 6 foot between the walls, which are the fire rated walls.
Well, so that language in there is so there's always 6 feet. And so if one wall is within a foot of the property line, that other one would be the full 5 feet then. Next door, and that's the layout that I'm doing that maintains that.
No, we have to give you variance per lot, so it'd be 3 feet on this side of the lot line and 3 feet on the other side of the lot line. We have to give you a variance by the lot, we just can't give you a blanket variance. At least the way I understand it, we can't.
I'm just thinking. 'Cause-
See, we give you 3 feet, and we take it to mean 3 feet from the property line, and then you go and say, well, this guy's 1, this guy's 5, that's still 6 feet, but that's not what we interpret what we gave you. You have to take that building by building, because these are gonna be owned by individual people,
Okay.
Very good.
okay? So each one goes on a specific deed, and it has to be listed.
Can I have a condition that within a foot of the property line, the neighbor property has to be 5 feet?
That's way behind our legal, that's way behind what we should be
Because I
getting
got a
involved in.
variance on one of the port lots on Washington Street, but it was because that's the language that the civil engineer wrote up, those points about the eve and then the wall. We're just saying that if it needs to be 3 feet to maintain 6 feet, or if it can be a wall within 1 foot of the property line, then with the condition that the neighbor properties maintains a minimum 5-foot setback.
No, that should be by the lot, because you're gonna have individual owners down the line. That should be by the lot, by the building. We're just giving them a blanket, that should go through the planning commission.
And those notes in there state minimum 6 feet between, nothing less than 6 feet between the buildings as one of the points that the civil engineer makes out.
I understand that, but my point is I don't think this zoning board should be giving you a blanket variance. We can give it to you by the lot, based upon each building. What you're asking for should be going through the planning commission. As part of this here sounds to me like this went through the planning commission. And I got no problem with that. We deal with the nuts and bolts. We don't deal with grand visions.
I mean, so these houses are exactly what's gonna go on these lots. So if we needed to say lot one, this distance, and then the lot 7, 8, 9, I mean, I could tell you what would need to be on each of them. For most of them, that 3 feet's completely fine, but there's, this unlock here, which doesn't face another house off to the side, it has a porch that would go past that 3 feet, 4 feet. But then there's no house next to it, and then it's the same thing over here. Actually, this one would be.
Yeah, that would probably work, because we usually don't do anything less than 2, because the overhang would put the water,
No, that's,
porch.
I'm not arguing about the 3 feet.
No, I'm talking about
saying
he's gonna do some of these lots, they're gonna only have 1 foot, you're gonna be 1 foot from the lot line, but there's no
That's,
overhang and it's.
that's fine, it's just that we should do it by the lot.
Well, I'm
We just
saying in
can't
the
give
past,
them a vacant,
in the past, we never had a wall closer than 2, because the overhang is 1, you didn't want the water falling on anybody else's, but these are
Right.
porches, so I guess we could do that with a 1 foot.
Yeah, I'm not disputing that, I'm not arguing about that. My point is, we should not be giving them a blanket variance. It should be by the lot.
Right, because you can't do that 1 foot in the interior ones.
Right.
It-
That's what I mean, that's my point.
Right.
See, he's talking about if one guy wants it right within a foot of the property line, the other guy has to be 5 feet.
But then that one.
But we don't know what's coming in the future. I mean, have you got them vacant lots sold?
So I'm not gonna.
No, you've got 3 houses or 4 houses drawn there.
Yeah.
Okay, does that mean that the 2 vacant lots off to your right are sold?
So these 4 lots here are not available for sale. I'd build these houses second after these 4 as a bulk build, but I know what you're saying is that,
We just can't give you, I just don't think we should give you a vacant, random changing variance based upon what you sell to the next customer.
Well,
You should go through it, where you got them thing, I don't have a problem with giving you the variances for that, but say, well, this one might be a 1 foot, it might be 5 foot. We can't give you a variance like that.
yeah, well, so I know 100% what they would need for each of these lots, so that 3 foot is fine for almost all of them. There's just, there's this plan, which is gonna have a porch that's not even gonna be across from my house, because this is actually a park and this is a road here. It's just that porch, the porch would go out a little bit deeper so that you could have a more usable porch here, but the actual building face here would only be going into that setback of 2 feet.
well, what if we give you,
We'd have to give, he's got 4 applications, we have to give him 4 variances.
yeah, per lot,
Yeah.
would that, if we give you variances, okay. Front setback, give variance from 18 feet to 13 feet. And then say for lot 1, according to your drawings, would give you your variances. And then lot 6, or is that lot 6?
Yeah, 1 and 6 are the ones that those were,
1 foot.
the 1 foot of the property line.
And we can
1
give
foot
you
which-
a variance for 1 foot for lot 1 and 6.
Yeah, and then
From which side? The other side is good? The other side maintains the 5?
Yep, this is a full 5,
Okay.
this is a full 10 between these units, and then this one would be 8 feet between the units.
Okay, we just have to give them to you by the lot number.
Because then, what I'm gonna build all 4 of these homes about, right after this all goes through, so all 4 of these would go up at the same time.
We can give you those variance requests for those lots,
Sure.
but it would be an individual motion for each lot.
Yep, and I understood that, that's what.
Okay.
Because we went through some discussion and, yeah, I had to have 5 for each one with a plan, with a diagram. So that.
Yeah, I don't have any problem with the variances, I just didn't want nothing that ambiguous.
So what's where's the lot numbers then? Which one is
So
1?
this is 1.
That's 1.
This is 6, so 1 and 6 are the ones that and the fronts of these houses that would actually go into the setback more than the 3 feet will not be across from another building. This is a park space and this is a road.
Okay, do you have a roof on the porch or is it open air porch? With no
1 and
roof?
6 would have a roof on the porch.
Is there gonna be an overhang? Eave?
There would be an eave, and so the
Eaves troughs.
variance would be that the face of the fascia would be no more than a foot from the property line. So which would likely set back the columns another 6 inches to a foot from there.
Okay. Yeah, I don't have a problem with that. Like I said, I just didn't want to give you a vague
Yeah,
one
oh, no,
that
I
can
understand that.
be manipulated and
Yeah.
come back on the city as you said they could do it.
Yeah, see,
I just don't want anything ambiguous.
Nope, I understand. And out there, the same thing, I wouldn't want to have somebody buy this lot and then have it be detrimental by it being a blended language.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
so 1 and 6. On the south side, you need a variance from 5 feet
To 1.
to 1 foot with a minimum eve of,
1 foot is what
1 foot?
yeah, he's saying 1 foot.
he's saying 1 foot,
And
okay,
there's nothing next door, so I don't have a problem with that.
okay, all right. And on the north side, you,
One.
you're looking for,
No, I think he was good on that. It was 5 foot on both those.
Yeah.
he's
1 and
5
6.
feet on
Yeah.
the north.
Which one is 8 feet?
No, we're talking-
There's, lots 7 and 9 would be fine if we did the 3 feet into the setback. And it doesn't have to be 1 foot from the property line, we could say,
Well, we were doing 1 and 6. 1 and 6.
Let's do them in numerical order.
1
1,
and 6.
1 and 6 were the
It
1
can't,
foot.
Dan, I don't think it's 6 feet. It's 6 feet total between the two, so it would be 3
No, he
feet.
just doesn't need it. He doesn't need a side lot variance on 1 and 6 on the,
no, on this
North
side.
it's 5
Is this
foot.
one over here number 1?
This is
Was 1.
Okay, let's get it organized for number 1. On the, is that north going that way?
This is south.
That's,
Okay.
South.
On the south side, we need a variance from 5 feet to 1 foot for the porch. And the main wall,
And then the main wall is going 2 feet into the setback.
so, okay.
So it's just, if there was one.
3 foot for the building,
3,
Two
you just do the
variance
1.
from-
You're gonna have separate setbacks or just give them the 1 foot for the whole thing? Does it really matter?
I think
Well,
you're
we
getting
can-
just 1 foot to the whole
Otherwise-
thing. Don't you, Dan?
That's what I would think,
I'm
just
saying
1.
that could be, somebody could come by and try to build 2 foot onto the. I
That's a
realize
street,
it's,
though.
Yeah, there'll be no neighbor over here.
Yeah, that's a platted street over there.
And there's actually an outlet.
Well, you can live with 1 foot for the whole side, I can live with it.
Yeah, that's right. So on those 2 lots, south side,
And then,
setback, and in the front's
from
13.
18 to
And
13,
that's on all of them, right? The
Yeah.
front is,
but you gotta list them by the lot number. Okay,
and
now,
now
2 of them,
7 and 8.
Thank you.
7 and 8,
You wanna keep that for a file?
you need 3 foot on the one and the one stays.
Cause we might.
You only got
need-
8 feet between,
Yeah, so if I can have the variance for 3 feet on the north side of lot 7 and 3 feet on the north side of lot 8, that would give me what I would need to do this. And that would allow that'd be 8 feet between these buildings here, and then this one doesn't face another house.
That's a street over there, isn't it?
Yeah.
And these garages are gonna be on water?
This is an alley back here, but I had the, I can't remember the name.
Water Lily Place, Water Lily
way,
Way.
water, yeah.
So yeah, this is pretty much just all alley parking. And
Yeah, cause when I was living out there, those were all vacant lots. We used to,
Yeah, Hank and Karen Wolf were mad at me today, like, taking away our dog run area. So,
Yeah.
but I am putting in, I have parks at the whole center of the block, and it'll be a nice space. These are actually going to be built modular down in Missouri. So the whole house will be built and then show up and have finished houses. So
I was gonna ask where we were getting your lumber from.
well, right now I can get it from Shillings, some Flow Roll, RP, you know, because they're all out of everything.
Oh, I know, we're out of everything. It's terrible.
I need a new liner for my swimming pool, and they told me I'll get it next year.
Got it?
Well,
They came down and taped the liner up to this stainless steel around the edge of it.
I wouldn't be able to build my house now. I wouldn't be able to.
Cabinets went from 3 weeks to 4 months.
Oh, I believe
I
that.
had doors ordered for 2 months and I just got a call saying, sorry, can't do it. Go find doors somewhere. And that was from Shillings, which is big.
Would you have even been able to get all my steel? Yeah?
Yeah.
Beams you can still get?
Plates are bizarre. I'm 6 weeks behind on an order because I couldn't get the plates. You don't have to manage, you have a railroad manager.
You taking care of my buddy Castigar?
So what do we
Oh,
have?
yeah, we
here?
fixed him up, but we need drawings, and we don't get together with Bill to see what we actually built. He got built and shipped.
So on
Working memory.
On lot 1, we have south side variance from 5 feet to 1 foot with 6 inch or 1 foot overhang.
And then.
Lot
Same-
5.
Wait a minute,
And then
we
6
gotta
feet,
make these by the lot, so we gotta, lot 1, we also gotta shorten it from 18 to 13.
Right, he said he was doing that for every one.
Yeah, but I'm saying we gotta do it as a.
Just do the
motion,
four
second,
motions.
carry.
Just
Slow motion, oh, yeah.
Okay,
So do start at 1 and go to 6, and
Yeah.
1 and 6 are the same, and 7 and 8 are the same, I guess, so do 4 motions.
okay. We made the first motion, need a second?
Okay, second.
Okay, she needs practice.
I do, I need,
Vince
I need
and,
I'll keep
practice.
I'll keep my mouth.
No, you're fine.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay,
Lot 5, lot 6, rather.
lot 6.
Second verse, same as the first. Make that motion.
I don't know if that's strictly legal, but
Yeah, no. 1 foot overhang on the south side,
wait a minute,
18.
ain't that the north side?
No, south side,
It's
south side's
south
set, is the 1 foot setback with the 1 foot
Yeah.
overhang.
Okay, 18, 13.
18 to 13 feet front setback, and 5 to 3 feet on the north side.
No, that, you're 6, they didn't need anything on those two, didn't need anything on the north side, on 1 and 6.
Okay.
Just-
So then we only have the 1 foot
Yeah, 1 foot on the
south
South
side, and the 18 to 13 front setback.
Do the second,
I second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Okay,
You did
motion
the first
carried.
one too, didn't you?
Yes, sir.
No.
Okay, now,
So it's
Lot 7.
7. 3 foot north,
3 foot.
setback
18.
to 3 foot north. Vince doing
Okay, make a motion that lot 7 have a 3 foot, from a 5 foot to a 3 foot variance be granted on the north side. The front setback variance be granted from 18 feet to 13 feet.
Second,
I second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
Lot 8. So that 3 feet would be on the south side?
No, I think they're both on the north.
No, that's on the north.
Both of those are north.
That's on the north. That's also on the north. It's 5 foot from the line. No,
It's
the
on the
one
north
next
side
to
of the
it
street.
is closer to the line, but it's still at 5 feet on this
Okay.
side. It's 3 feet on the other side.
Lot 8, variance be granted on the north side, north lot line from 5 feet to 3 feet. And the front setback from 18 feet to 13 feet.
Need a second?
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Okay, Bill, we'll let you do one next week. Okay, this is yours. Matt, I need to give you this back. Okay, now I need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay, Dan, you might wanna give us plenty of time to review these back and forth,
Good luck, Kevin.
so we get it straight.
Thank you.
And it is about, what,
Thank you for being
7 or
patient.
8:30.
Wow, it's a journey, but I appreciate it. Hopefully I want to do this for all the lots.
That's the longest meeting we've had.
So Bill made the mo, did Vince second that one?
Pardon me?
Did Vince second the adjourn?
Oh,